Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here with you, and I am glad to be here with you. I've talked about this before briefly. Let me ask you a question. Think of a mentor in your life, somebody that's made a truly a major impact in your life, and ask yourself, is that because they were interesting or because they were interested? I've asked this of hundreds of people, and I think the majority of the time they say it's because they were interested. Of course, they may have been interesting as well, but it's being interested that has drawn them to you and created that bond. Now, in today's world, think about the difference between being interesting, interest and interested. Interesting is about drawing attention to whom? To ourselves, our accomplishments, what we think others want to see or hear, right? Being interested is what I call arrows out. It means focusing outward, being present, genuinely caring about somebody else's story. It's about listening, asking thoughtful questions, and creating space for others to feel valued and understood. And we live in a world right now where billions of dollars are spent on looking interesting. Flashy websites, curated social media profiles, carefully crafted political campaigns, businesses obsessed with brand image. But what if we flipped it on that script? What if businesses focused on being interested in their customers, understanding their needs, their pain points, and aspirations? What would happen? They'd get more loyal customers. What if leaders in our home and in our business focused more on being interested in their teams or in their family members and in promoting themselves, and they created a environment of trust, an environment of collaboration? Employees that feel seen and valued increases morale, engagement, and creativity, doesn't it? Social media, well, no need to spec on the difference it would make in social media just in reducing the harm that it creates would be invaluable. Politics, come on. Politicians often spend huge amounts of money trying to appear interesting just to gain votes. What would happen if they became genuinely interested in what matters to you instead of telling us what they're interested in? All right, so you look at that. Let me tell you about a couple of boys, John and Joseph. Call them boys because they're in high school and they come to Strategic Coach, where I've had the opportunity for the last 24 years to coach highly successful entrepreneurs. And they show up each day after a workshop and they come in with a few others and they come in and they clean the chairs, the tables off. They get everything ready for the next day. They clean everything up, put all of the notebooks and everything in the right place so that when you come in, you have a fresh start. It looks great. And I've told them this. I compliment them. Well, they went and asked, because they had a day off last Friday, they went and asked, could we sit in on a workshop? So they came and asked me, and I said, absolutely. So they sit in the back, and but they came early. They went to breakfast with everybody was there. They mixed with our team. They were there for lunch. They filled out everything, but they did not, I did not see them pick up their phones once to check social media, to check their email, to check. They were totally focused, probably better than even some of the entrepreneurs in the room. And they were taking copious notes. At the end of the day, I got to ask, I went around the room and asked insights, and I went to them. Their insights were marvelous. First of all, they had genuine gratitude. They talked about what a privilege it was to be there, how much they had learned, and they looked forward to putting that forward. They even used the term positive generational impact. Now, experiences like this give you hope that the next generation is not only willing to learn, but also eager to make a positive impact. So why don't we, this week, why don't we focus on being interested in others? Make that our challenge and in cultivating those values in the next generation. Whether it's at work, in your family, online, practice being genuinely curious. And I'm excited about the next generation, but it's up to us to lead the pathway to become interested in them and what they're doing. Actually, interested in everything that we're doing. Enduring wealth isn't about how interesting you are or how much you accumulate. It's about relationships you build and the positive generational impact you create. Focusing on being interested in others, learning from them, empowering them leads to deeper, more enduring wealth that goes beyond money. Let's make this next week a meaningful week. I look forward to talking to you next week. Bye bye.